Proposed to my girlfriend of 7 years, only for her to leave me because she's a lesbian, and now everyone abandoned me. Me and my ex, Dana, have been together for 7 years and I knew that she was bisexual by the beginning and she openly told me about her past relationships with girls, but I never cared because it wasn't a problem at all. We never had any big fight or arguments but just small things and we always sorted out everything. So after 7 years of relationship I decided that it was the right moment to make the big question because we were deeply in love, financially stable and already living together, so for me it was the right time. I prepared everything to make it more romantic and unique as I could, and when I made her the final question she hesitated but then said yes. There the problem started cause I didn't understood why that hesitation and I asked her but she only replied I was nervous so I gave up. We told this to her parents. Mine died when I was 20 and my little sister when she was 17 in a car accident. And our friends, but even here some things were off because her parents were faking to be happy and I didn't understood why while our friends were super happy and were already telling us ideas for our wedding. 4 months passed by and we were planning our wedding when the day came up. I came back home from work and she waiting for me with her bags ready and I asked her what was going on. She told me, listen, I know that this is gonna be hard for you but I'm not bi, I'm lesbian. My parents knew this since 2 years and this is why they weren't happy and were faking it. Please I beg you to not make it difficult and just let me leave, don't cry, don't beg me and don't scream, let's just things go like adults, and then she drove away. I was standing there on my feet for like 1 hour in shock cause I couldn't believe it. We passed by getting married to Dana coming out like a heartless and cold girl that I couldn't recognize. The worst thing comes now cause 3 months passed by that day, I canceled the wedding, and literally no one ever texted me or called me asking me how I was, if I was fine, if I needed something, just nothing. Not her parents, not her, she blocked me that day, and not even our friends. No one gives a fuck about me at all. In this 3 months I was hospitalized 3 times cause I lost weight, 15 kilograms, and have insomnia. I just work and come home, nothing else. While everyone is praising her for her coming out, how good is she to finally realize she was lesbian and her courage to be herself after years of fighting to find her true identity. Right now I'm not even capable of being mad, I'm just in disbelief for what happened, how fast it all happened, and that no one gives a fuck about me because her coming out is more important than her ex. You know what? Fuck them all, they showed me their true color and fuck my ex. Edit, WTF? I just turned off my phone for 2 hours and went for a walk around my city. Honestly I wasn't expecting all this support because I couldn't even imagine someone actually reading this. I just saw everyone that's supposed to love me and care about me ignoring me and ghosting me, so I lost hope in people and especially for strangers on the internet. I hope to come here again in a few months and read this all again and believe you, but now I can't. You all seem good people and sincere, but believe me, for how much I want to trust you I simply can't right now, but I want to thank you all anyway. I'm not okay, and the 3 times I was hospitalized I tried to kill myself, but I'm not good even in doing that. For 3 months I thought again and again and again if I was the problem, what I could do better, what I did wrong. But nothing changes. So here I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere, seated on a sidewalk like a homeless, reading strangers' comments on a post that I don't even know why I posted. Again, thank you all. Update 1. So here we go again like in GTA San Andreas, but this time is more painful and shocking at the same time cause today and yesterday night a lot happened. Like someone of you folks said, somehow one of my ex-friends saw my post on TikTok and the absolute mess started and is still going on right now. This ex-friend, I will call him Paul, reached out to me and basically told me that he saw the post and knew that it was me cause I used my ex real name, Dana, and was shocked to know what really happened cause apparently Dana told my ex-friends that she came out to me as a lesbian and I tried to lay hands on her and threatened her, and she told them to not contact me again. They all believed her, but then when they all saw my post they started pressuring her if my post was saying the truth or not, and she admitted the lie. Since Paul's text I received a ton of texts and calls from everyone asking me how I'm, if I'm fine. They are sorry for believing Dana and not texting me first, and apologies. But then there is the real issue, Dana. She texted me asking to forgive her, that she was sorry for how bad she treated me and admitting that she invented all cause she was afraid to lose friends. And unfortunately it's not all cause. I got a text from her girlfriend, Mary, and basically she told me that she is sorry for Dana's behavior and for what she did, and, here comes the issue, that she knew Dana since a year and she never told her about me but always talked to her about me like a roommate, so she was thinking to leave Dana. Now comes my part cause I made a new group including them all, even Dana and Mary, and told them that I'm not changing my mind about forgiving them. I was thinking to sue Dana, partially true cause I'm not sure if doing it or not, and if they, my ex-friends, were decent humans they would have texted me asking me if I was out of my mind to lay hands on Dana, or just insulting me via texts if they really cared about me. Then I added some personal things about Dana and blocked them all. My blocking method isn't working cause they are continuing to harass me with texts and calls from other numbers and even making other people calling me and texting me. Crazy shit is happening and I really still can't believe it all, this mess cause I'm thinking that it's all a nightmare and I need to wake up, but unfortunately it's all fucking true. Then the other thing is that finally I saw a therapist today, a few hours ago, and I don't like to admit it but I cried a lot cause for her, the therapist. I never worked on my parents and my sister's death, and then this thing with my ex added making me explode, so it's gonna be a very long journey and I hope to reach a point. I already had the number of the therapist there on my table in the kitchen but never called, but this time I did and hopefully it will help. So this is all, and I hope to update you not so quickly like now, but when I will feel better. So again, thank you all, and hopefully I will update you in better times.
P.S. To all the people that are following me, I want to say thank you, but my life is pretty boring and I don't think to post something else, so you're not obligated to follow me.
Then to the people that wrote me privately, thank you all, and be sure that I read all your messages and I appreciate it, so thank you too. Dana, ghosts her BF and lies just because she was scared. Honestly, I would definitely sue for defamation, man. You have the evidence and I don't think it could go wrong. What do her parents think? Update 2. I know that I promised to be here again when things would be better, and I hoped for that very much, but unfortunately my life isn't better at all and things are going always worse than I expected. I'm gonna talk like I talk with my therapist, cause a little bit you all are like my therapist, ha ha ha. You know, I'm not an expert of therapy in this things, and I hope that in a short time things would change and would make me feel better, but it's more difficult and longer than I expected and imaginated. I'm crying every day about all that happened to me, about my parents and my little sister premature death, what happened with Dana and how my friends betrayed me so easily like I was just a random guy. The worst thing is about Dana. After my parents' death I put all my attention and importance on her. She was like my promise to have a new family and start a new life together and be again a family. In all this years I tried my best to make her feel loved, happy and cared. What maybe don't transpires from my old posts is how much I loved her and how much I cared about her, cause Dana was the only person in this world that knew me 100%, and she was for real my soft spot. After my retirement from the army she was the one that saw the real me after those years risking my life. I still have some traumas, but I'm working even on that, and then I knew Dana and it was love at the first sight. So yes, call me naive, that I still believe in the fairy tales, but I really thought that she was the one for me and that could finally give me my dream of having a family that I lost. The worst and most difficult thing in this month was to finally change my number and start again. I mean, I thought many times to call her, text her and even see her again, cause despise all this mess I still, somehow, care and love her, but then I think again at how poorly and badly she treated me and I change my mind, but her presence is still very present there in my mind. I still miss those little things that we were doing together. I miss Dana being messy and a little goofy around me in my house. I miss her touch. Coming back from work and just seeing her was like all my stress and bad emotions were gone in a second. But apart this, a few good things happened in this month, cause I got the promotion that I really craved for, even if I got it in the worst moment of my life, and my boss gave me 3 weeks of forced vacations cause he is worried about my mental health and how I work day and night without doing anything else. My therapist told me too to take a few weeks of vacations to clarify my thoughts, and that I'm watching for another house near my work cause my actual house isn't a positive environment, my therapist's words, and because I need a drastic change. So things are this, and unfortunately I still have those suicidal thoughts, but I'm working on it, even if again it will take time. So this everything, and I don't think to post anything else from now on cause I don't have anything else to say, fortunately, about my situation. If not, thank you all for your support in private texts. So, people, thank you all, and hopefully even this period of my life will pass without creating too much damage.
P.S. My ex-friends never contacted me again, and Dana too, so I don't know anything about what is going on between them, and sincerely I don't care.
Maybe. Update 3. Hey people, it's still me, Clark. I know that I disappeared for months, but something big happened and made me think a lot about what to do, how to react to this and all this stuff. First of all, I don't see my therapist anymore, and I thanked her for what she did for me cause she really helped me. And now the big news unfortunately isn't a good news. I have cancer. To be completely honest, I should have noticed it before cause many things were off, but I always blamed stress, what was happening, my personal issues and all this stuff, but unfortunately it wasn't stress. Now before anyone says it, yes, I'm sure it's cancer cause I had 3 different tests in 3 different hospitals and they went back all the same. But you know what? Is fine. It's one of those curable cancers, but here comes the thing that kept me thinking a lot. I made a promise on my family's grave and I have all the intentions to keep it. For how much for you can be insane or nonsense, for me have a lot of sense. So the thing is this, I'm not going to cure it. I'm just happy to have lived my life. I had incredible ups and incredible downs, but it's okay. It's life. No one ever told me that life was easy or a fairy tale, and we have to accept it and endure to life our life as we want. I tried to do it in between ups and downs. I'm happy of my life. I met incredible people. I saw how strangers on the internet can really help you. I mean, you guys of Reddit. I had my dream job, I had my dog, and I traveled a lot. But everything comes to an end like it should be. I wasn't expecting to have this short life to live, but it's okay. I take things for how they're. So just this, I made a promise on my family's grave that I will reach them, and I'm going to keep my promise. So folks of Reddit, you made a life of a stranger a bit better, and I will always and forever keep you all in my mind and my heart. I wouldn't bet a cent on it sincerely, but it's awesome to be wrong in this case as a haha. So thank you all. I hope for you all the best life, to see the world, to love like never, to enjoy what all this world can offer you, and remember this, you all made a stranger life better. Update 4. First things first, yes, I still have cancer. No, I haven't started treatment. But before you yell at me, let me explain. I was ready. I had everything planned, down to the last detail. I wasn't going to tell anyone, not my coworkers, not my old friends, who I still don't talk to, and definitely not Dana, who is, by the way, still a ghost in my life. But then, something completely insane happened. Something that shook me so hard that, for the first time in a long time, I hesitated. I found out I have a daughter. Yeah. Let that sink in. Because I sure as hell needed time to process it. Apparently, years ago, before Dana, before the army, before everything, I had a short relationship with a girl named Emily. We were young, reckless, and stupid, and after a few months, we went our separate ways. No drama, no bad blood. Just two people moving on. Well, turns out Emily was pregnant. And she never told me. I only found out because, 2 months ago, I got a letter. A physical letter. At first, I thought it was some legal notice or another scam. But no, it was from Emily's sister. Emily had passed away in an accident last year. And my daughter, was now 14 years old. Her name is Sophie, and she had no idea I existed. Let me tell you, Reddit, my brain completely shut down. Here I was, preparing to say goodbye to the world, and suddenly, the world was like, hey, by the way, you're a dad. I didn't know what to do. I spent weeks staring at that letter, trying to convince myself that it didn't change anything. That I was still going to keep my promise. But no matter how much I tried to ignore it, the thought kept creeping in, you're just going to leave without meeting her, without even giving her a chance to know you? And that thought wrecked me. So, after fighting with myself for a month, I did the only thing I could, I reached out. It was awkward as hell. Emily's sister was hesitant at first, but when I explained everything, she agreed to set up a meeting. Not with Sophie, not yet, but just with her. To see if I was even someone worth introducing. We met at a cafe. I was nervous as hell. She was protective, as she should be, but after hours of talking, she told me something that broke me. She's always wondered about her dad. She used to ask Emily about him all the time. But Emily never told her, said it was complicated. She deserves to know, Clark. And just like that, my entire plan unraveled. Because I couldn't do it. I couldn't just disappear anymore. Not when I had her out there, wondering, waiting, hoping. So, I made a new decision. I'm still not getting treatment. Yet. But I'm also not walking away. Next week, I'm meeting Sophie for the first time. And for the first time since all of this started, since Dana, since the betrayal, since the loneliness, since the cancer, I feel something. Now on to second story. Threw away my girlfriend's gourmet birthday cake for my mom's single cupcake. Now everyone thinks I'm the ungrateful villain. My mother is mentally slow. I don't know what else to call since she grew up pretty rough, was never formally diagnosed, and had me at 13, her being physically and emotionally younger made her a fun mom, just not very responsible. In any case, this is one of the main reasons my girlfriend feels uncomfortable around my mom, because she says she has no manners and can be rude, both of which can be true at times, but my mom doesn't do things intentionally, it's just how she was raised and it's hard to teach her new things. The second reason is that I spend a lot of money for my mom to live in an expensive facility/community so she can be independent but still have some help. She thinks it's a waste of money, especially since she wants to be able to buy a big house in the future, and I refuse to pay her medical insurance despite having the money. She's currently on a plan that she can't afford, which she brings up a lot in arguments. She's not my wife, so I don't want to commit to something like that yet, since I'm not sure how that would work if she ever decided to end the relationship, or if it increased to something I'd rather not pay. I won't lie, I love my girlfriend, but she's not my wife, therefore not a priority, and I've tried proposing twice and been turned down each time. Anyways, I feel like I derailed for a second, but I felt some context was important. This year she decided to make me a cake for my birthday. I was happy because she's a great baker and even better at decorating, so I asked for a chocolate sheet cake with canned frosting and rainbow sprinkles. She said it was fine but kept suggesting I have something special and less cheap this year. My mom has made me this birthday cake every year since I was a child, but of course this year she couldn't, and I told her I was sure that's what I wanted, no presents and no people over. When I woke up the morning of my birthday, she had me eat breakfast in the living room because the dining room and kitchen were a mess. I'm not sure if I believe that now, and got me up and out of the house after lunch telling me it still wasn't ready, and I couldn't see it because she also had a really small surprise as well. I come back an hour later as she'd asked, and when I open the door to pretty much everyone we know and even don't know well, except my mom, her parents are there, leap out and with those blow things. I tried to act happy, but to be honest I didn't want anyone there at all. If it had just been our families maybe it would have been nice, but I was secretly annoyed. Then when I saw the cake, it wasn't anything like what I asked for. It was 3 round lemon creme cakes, the naked fancy kind with flowers and berries. It looked incredible, and I could tell it must have taken ages, but it's not what I wanted, and I'm pretty neutral about lemon desserts. Everyone brought gifts and I tried to pretend that I liked them, and I did, but in the moment I just didn't feel like opening and reacting to gifts, so I feel like my reactions were underwhelming. Then when it was time to cut the cake she gave me a big piece and I didn't even finish half of it. I wasn't in the mood. I just lied and said I was too full from eating all of her favorite foods. I'll admit that was a bit too blunt, especially since there was company, and she was a little short with me the rest of the party. Finally my mom comes just after everyone finished, and according to my girlfriend, she accidentally told her the wrong time. She brought me a single cupcake, just how I like it, as a gift because she couldn't make the cake this year. I was happy and I couldn't hide it. My girlfriend noticed and kind of gave my mom the stink eye, which is fine as long as she wasn't being rude, but then she took it a step further and just outright made a bad joke about how the cupcake was unique like my mom. She still likes dresses and 2 ponytails, and a few people even laughed. Fast forward to later, I'm eating my cupcake in bed hoping to end the day on a good note. I didn't complain at all outside of that one comment because I didn't want to seem too ungrateful, but then says under her breath that of course I'd rather eat something that looks like it was made by toddler than actual quality. That was the last straw for me. We got into a heated argument, so I ended up sleeping on the couch on my own birthday. The next morning, I made it clear that I wasn't going to eat any of her desserts until she apologizes. It's been 3 days. She told everyone that I hated the party and now everyone is calling me ungrateful, plus her family found out I don't pay her insurance, and right now things are on and off tense and not tense between us. Am I the asshole here? Edit, not an update, just wanted to say that I read all the comments and now I'm strongly considering just biting the bullet and saying I don't care, especially since she only knows of both because I told her not due to actual evidence. It's just not something I wanted to be outed for, metaphorically and literally, but in any case I guess the statute of limitations in my state would have already passed for me funnily right when we started dating, so at least if things go south I can finally get the plastic surgery I've always wanted and a new name. Trying to make myself feel angry and not funny though, but it's hard because she always makes me feel sad and then happy again after, but I'm going to tell her we aren't twin flames or anything close anymore and probably update when I feel better if things get intense. Fortunately, my mom is happy as always and we talk every day. For those wondering, she's so nice she doesn't always notice when people are being mean, so I won't and would never tell her how my ex-girlfriend truly felt about her if she asks why things are going wrong. Second, another thing that I just wanted to add is that my mom fortunately was not an SA victim. The comments thinking that made me irrationally sad for some reason. My father was the same age. I don't know if he had a disability, but he was pretty strange in a good way. Didn't talk much, but he liked drawing the same types of birds and flowers and they got along well and she was loved. I just didn't mention him because well, he's dead. Anyway, sorry, I have a tendency to get long-winded and over-explain, but I'm going to sleep now. Update 1. Added context because the edit in my original post wasn't clear. I added it in the comments, but in case it's still confusing it's also here. Since the post is already long I guess I'll comment instead. Maybe I'm just a terrible writer when I'm tired, but writing this a few hours ago felt like it would make sense, so sorry. To make it make sense I used to make adult videos mostly with other men, so I don't want anyone to know. Second, I used to scam dates by using their credit card information online to buy textbooks and personal items because I could only really afford food, but it was still bad and sometimes I wonder if they didn't eat so I could, and it makes me paranoid. Even if I can't go to jail now, I can still be socially ostracized. And plastic surgery is just that if my social life is ruined, I can buy a new face and name. I was half joking. Also, for those wondering, I didn't mention the reason why my girlfriend rejected my marriage proposal twice is because it sounds really bad to people who don't understand what it's like to live with someone disabled. I love my mother dearly, but, in all honesty, I would not want to have children like her. They won't have any easy life, and that's the reason basically she thinks I might pass on bad genes. I'd like to try to have at least one child anyway because I don't have any disabilities, so I'm hoping my child would be healthy as well. But I don't think not wanting to adopt or take a chance is a bad reason to reject someone. In any case, I decided to take the coward's way out and leave for work excessively early to avoid her, and I put a breakup note in her lunch bag. I'm expecting to feel awful later, so I think I'll update again when I'm not sad, which takes me a while. And again, I'm sorry for rambling. Another thing I also saw mentioned while reading replies is that twin soul is controversial, and I'm sorry, and I wasn't intentionally being misogynistic. I've just seen it used and thought it meant some of the same things as soulmate. Actual update. She read the note and wasn't mad, she just said she wanted to talk things over. But when I get there she's pretty mad, and because apparently her coworker saw the note and how pathetic leaving a note is. In hindsight I wasn't thinking and agree. The rest is just a blur. We get into a physical fight which we've gotten into before but never this bad, and I ended up breaking my forearm. She was throwing things as A was walking away and I was crying so I slipped. Then the ride to the ER was probably the worst I've felt in my life. I was still crying while they were trying to ask me questions, and then they either gave me something or I passed out. Either way, when I woke up she apologized, but I could tell she was still a little mad because she got food and didn't offer me any. After I get discharged, we get home, get into another argument, and I get mad and tell her she can leave. Her sister lives less than an hour away so she'd be fine. Eventually she agrees to leave, but she left most of her things here. She told me I have 3 days to pack up her stuff so her parents can come get it, which is fair I guess. I'm wondering if I should pack the ring in with her stuff because looking at it now is humiliating. Surprisingly she only made 2 posts about it on social media, and it's only very vaguely exposing things I've done. It's not as bad as I thought it would be, and all most of my friends felt bad, but a few, her friends first, have blocked me or left me angry texts. Her mom sent a voicemail crying and saying how disappointed they were in me, and honestly I do feel a little bad for them because that's their daughter. It must feel sad, but I really just want to leave her stuff outside without talking to them. I haven't told my mom anything yet because I know she'll worry. I don't have an appetite right now because there's still leftover cake in the fridge and looking at it just makes me tired. I think I'm going to take a break from dating for a while and work on being happy alone because right now all I want to do is call and apologize.